As the lights go down, we're going to have a last episode. I wanted to share about what it's like for a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group to download and to have past life regressions, both for myself as well as an Akashic record reader, to enter the Akashic records, to be a channeler, a medium, all of aspects that are not provable. Of course, that's why it's woo-woo, pseudoscience, lady. But I wanted to share since we have had a full moon with a lot of information, and I continue to know that the mammalian heritage group of people are the 5D collective, Christ consciousness. It's integration of the brain, your left words, your right, all the emotions that come up, and taking responsibly any of the holistic practices with next to us, attachment trauma information like I do with personal development, self-help, and integrating holistic and mystic, but also with any event and or events that are organized. So I've seen people organize sexual events where they actually have re-traumatizing experiences for people who take and underestimate the usage of EMDR, child parts work, and somatics, meaning going to good therapy, and or having, again, a good therapist that does know about childhood trauma and takes it seriously and understands that you are not going to help healing when you re-traumatize. The individual therapists that are tainting, in a way, what they share, I know who they are. I know how they come across because, again, I'm learning from a number of therapists. And sex therapists, there are the empowering ones that know we're still conducting studies for neurodivergent, neurotypical, neuroatypical, because that's where the capacity to sense and perceive are different. So as long as they're still building studies, the common denominator is that we don't have that. And that re-traumatizing anyone does not support their healing. It doesn't support integration, because integration of your brain is where the sensation, image, affect, and meaning comes up, and behavior, and you get to have a sliver of it and you walk yourself through it. Okay, so when trauma charges come up, it's gut wrenched, torn apart, and there's specific feelings. Again, people who take it seriously, that's why they don't have activities without the EMDR, child parts work, somatics, a good background therapist is what I'm going to say. Neuroscientists, neurobiology, they have interpersonal neurobiology, the course that I'm taking still with Daniel Siegel that I'm finishing up. They learn, I have 4 trauma courses with NICBM. I have 2, one completed with Somatopia. I got another Awakened Embodied certificate. I got a buttload of great information. Downloading, channeling, and being a 5D mystic. We do not lose ourselves because we do not have a window of tolerance. We have a window of welcome to emotions. In fact, as my light body expanded, I knew every year. And then I knew when my rainbow body, and then I knew when I needed more because I was doing more. And in fact, that was the year that I got a visit. And then I got another visit, but it was in a different way. And then I knew where we were at in our ascension on planet here. And if you see me closing my eyes, it's because I'm downloading as we speak. And reminds me, Patrick McNamara, neuroscientist, he explains there's no demonic possession in the brain of people when there's nightmares going on by the book Religious Self and Decentralization. And you'll find out. I haven't read it yet, but I watched his interviews. And I also know there's no demon possessing anyone because I know of dissociative identity disorder and disorganized attachment. And I have met people that have alters. And then I have a course that I'm certified, again, educational certification. So I am a person who takes care of supporting people to be their self. And that means that I can have anybody walk in a room. And that's why therapists all said, don't worry, as long as you're safe haven, secure base, you will be fine. If you need us, you will know, because with the adult attachment interview, the PHP also with Daniel Siegel, and having a background from childhood, you will be able to understand what you're dealing with, and if you may need any one of us for consciousness barriers or memory barriers. And so when I see events, festivals, whatever it is, that are organized with holistic spiritual bypassers, is what I'm going to call them, I will notice. Same thing with anybody who is promoting physical stuff that is not going to heal you. There's a very specific way, even with psychedelics, that Peter Levine, he's writing a book about the importance of it being assisted, the importance of educating, the importance of taking it step by step. And this is because the brain integrates in a specific way. So it takes about 4 to 6 weeks, if I remember correctly, the dates that Daniel Siegel gave me. And you're going to notice the lights going down, so it's going to, flicker. Um, 4 to 6 or 8 weeks for this neurowiring to happen, and then myelin has to lay down. Patrick McNamara, when he talks about what happens with the brain of our ancestors and still now, when REM seeps through your day to day, which is what I'm feeling right now, because when I'm channeling, when I'm downloading, when I'm being open, when I'm connected, I will feel it's more than just a flow state. It's the selflessness, timelessness, effortlessness, and richness. But see, the reason why I don't find myself compatible with all those Zen master with laundry is because there's no selfless. I'm Maria. I'm right here with you. Like, I don't even know that word, but I have understood what they're meaning, and this is why. My 1-year-old is home. My 2-year-old, my 3-year-old, my all of me is right here. she never left. I have a friend who asked me why I used the word we when I would talk about the channeling. We said, and we, and I thought, well, I'm a twin. I recognized it's not that because Daniel Siegel explained when you're a whole self of yourself, there's a we. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense because I have not ever had to deny my emotional state. The only emotion that I got a little bit of pushback, and that's because of my mother trying to have me launch pad, go, fear. So I'm a scaredy cat. And every time she did go, I'm like, no, I don't want to go. No, I don't want to go. And she just kept doing it. As any parent who's going to say it's safe. So you build that secure attachment figure. And in time, you just learn how to handle the emotions that come up. And so that's where being grounded in your humanity. The mammalian heritage means that you're not going to be destabilized as REM seeps through your daytime state. In fact, you can see anything. I have things that come. As I was sharing with you, for those of us who say no, torture chamber, don't touch me with a belt, don't touch me with a knife, don't touch me with anything. You're not looking cute, you're not looking handsome, I don't want any of you at all. Don't talk to me about how you think, stuff. It's just, yeah, see my face, get away from me. Because one, Tantra, they've completely taken it out of context. I don't listen to any of the Western people about anything. Sadhguru is my go-to for anything spirituality related that I want in that context. That's it. I don't use any other educational sources. I have some books. I took a course. That professor was very good at teaching me about that. So I know from the experts that I know. Some are experts with clear eyes. Others have their own blinders. And that's in all categories, which is why we have sex therapists who are supporting, because their preference is to support a specific type of lifestyle. I'm going to say, like with, I'll use me, I'm polyamory. I do not think that everybody has to, no, not even close. Not everybody is made for it. In fact, the book Jessica Fern writes, I completely disagree with the statement she makes where she says she thinks that all people should, or something like that polyamory would make people more securely attached and achieve whole self. And I'm like, no, that's your subjective experience. I have met people who will completely be destabilized as they learned what polyamory means. They're like, nope, I'm okay with you objectifying yourself, because this was funny. I'm okay with you fucking men all over the place for object stuff. So Pinocchio with no, again, wooden body. And it's like, no, no, I'm a Grace. I don't fuck you unless I love you. And that's only if you and I know we're building a home together. And that's why, the whole, if they don't call you back, we won't feel ashamed. We'll learn, okay, that's not a man. That's a person who's called 12 to 24 who grew up and they're a donkey with ears and a tail and you name it. I'm not going to use any Luciferian era or devil. I don't need an excuse. See, it makes me think of Criminal Minds. When I would watch that, they always said, we don't give a name to the people who we're trying to catch. I don't give a name to evil. Evil is not a name. It's a word that the philosophers and religious people didn't have sciences to explain it. I do. Forensic criminologist Michael Stone, they all end up in prison and they all need good therapists and they're all surrounded by one. So when I see a person who is supporting limited consciousness, I know who they are. I can hear it in their voice. They don't confuse my ears. They don't confuse my eyes. Then I also know where my place is in the collective. And so I'm a mammal. You can be one too. I have flesh. You can have a flesh too. You can use your default mode network the way I do, or you can keep on using it in a way that turns on only when you're being in danger, which is what our ancestors were in when they were tortured in tortured chambers in the medieval times that I've seen plenty of and that I will not support. Again, it's not about lifestyle. It's that it's not only something that exists because of ignorant human beings. I don't need to use a name. I don't need to demonize anything or romanticize it. That's the point. The mantles do that because they're trying to be the teenagers who are badass. I saw what the badass teenagers were capable of. Nothing except for unkindness, lying, lying, and their 3-year-old, I don't see them. You know what a emotionally and mentally mature 3-year-old does? They know how to say they're sorry. They know how to have honest, authentic conversations without making life into a shit show. They know that we are evolving and expanding and that sciences has answers. They know that there is no demon coming out of the earth because volcanoes. They don't need me to tell them that. They also know how to have a sense of humor, and they also know how not to talk about mysticism as if it's woo-woo. Because a 3-year-old who's whole has a 1-year-old who's whole who knows they don't know everything. And then they know how to be respectful to aspects that they don't understand. You know why? Because that's what a smart brain does, which is the reason why I always tread where I'm going, because I know that I don't know everything, and that's why I need good divine masculines around me, not the bad ones. I don't need the bad ones. The bad ones are a sad story, like the bad divine feminines. And I'm not saying they're bad in the sense of evil. No, they're bad because intellectually and emotionally, there's no inner child there. So I don't need a person who's cut off from consciousness. They don't know what they're talking about. They're going to bring to me books. I can hear the books. They're weighed down. It's like a person who's carrying all their school books, and then they want, here you go, Maria, here's all. And it's like, wow, I don't know why you're giving me this. It's all full of dust. What are you doing? And yeah, I don't need your ancient books. That's not consciousness. You're not actually doing anything except for being old and gray and okay. So for 5D mystics, channeling is fun. Downloads are fun. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, my brain is completely. It's like being in ecstasy, and you know what you know, and you don't prove it. I don't prove any of it. But what I can say is that I'm honored that you stayed and tuned in, that you get to know your host better. And yeah, I'm full of love right now. That's what it is. I'm full of love, and I'm happy that I get to be the human translator for the Enlightenment Soul Age group. You don't have any laundry in here. Only the Pinocchios with wooden bodies who want to keep on doing whatever they're doing. Okay, I have to go now because I think there's some stuff that wants to be channeled and downloaded, and so I'm going to leave you all. But I think I'll be doing some more of these ones since I was called to. And you can ask questions. I'm happy to answer FAQs, anything you're curious about. I'm also here for Ask Maria. That's columnist, paid, subscription-based model content. Like, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you for being here. And we'll be back with other smart, smile attitudes and funny ones, stupid ones too. Remember, I am the woo-woo lady. And I know why, because I'm very much grounded in, okay, I know what flat earthers are, and I'm not one of them, but I know I'm not one of them either. And sciences and spirituality, they come together like this. So let's support healing of childhood trauma, and all the inner child adults, come on over. Only flowers. Don't bring anything else. And if you have envy, jealousy, spite, revenge, shame, blame, fault, any of that, come on over if you want to be home with yourself. That means you want to get out of it. Okay, so there's people who are healing, and that's why healthy self-worth, we call each other to each other. The ones who want to be their mammalian heritage. The ones who don't, they have the human suffering love group. They're the ones who say a lot of other things. And let's leave that one alone. Okay. Yes, I'm done. Thank you. Have a good one.